Hey guys, welcome back. We're back outside today and we are actually going to be doing some planting. So my initial plan for today, at least for the first project, was I wanted to plant the cosmos and stock seedlings that we started inside. I'm in the front side garden bed and I was planning on putting the cosmos here. So when I was looking and thinking about, okay, where exactly do I want to put the cosmos? I remembered that I wanted to put these 3 white planters that we had on the steps. I planted some ranunculus bulbs, or I guess they're actually corums. I planted some ranunculus corums in them a few weeks ago, and you can see that they're just starting to poke their heads up. I wanted to put these planters in the front garden bed this year. So I was looking around to see where did I want to put the cosmos and where did I want to put the planters. And it reminded me that I keep saying I want to move this false cypress that I have here in the center. It's doing pretty well here, but I think I want to go with something else. And so I said, okay, if I'm going to be planting in this garden bed anyway, and I need to move things around, then I probably might as well just move this now. So I needed to actually decide where it was going to go. And I think I decided that I'm going to put it in the backyard along the side path. Okay, so we're in the backyard on the side path, and I think I want to put the false cypress that's in the front. I think I'm going to tuck it back here next to the fireplace. I have 2 other false cypress bushes, I guess, that are in the back that I want to move all of them. And I was thinking about putting them all together, and I might end up moving the other 2 along here. We don't have much going on kind of in the back where I have these plant stands. It's really just these ferns that really, before I really started gardening, all along this side was nothing but ferns. I'm pretty neutral on the ferns. I don't hate them. I don't love them, but I don't think we need quite as much ferns as we do. And you can see, I mean, they're coming up again and really trying to take over. I've tried to plant salvia back here and the ferns shade them out. So I might put the other 2 back here, but I'm not 100% sure. So I'm not going to move the other 2 today. And if I'm not going to move the other 2 today, I think I just want to tuck that one in the front over here. That'll be a little corner of evergreen interest back here. It'll be by the goldenrod that I have back here, and I don't think I have much else going on back here, again, other than some ferns that are coming up. So I think it could be a good place to just tuck it for now. I might end up moving it again eventually, but I think it's a nice chartreuse green, so it'll brighten up this corner. And like I said, there's not much going on there other than the goldenrod right now, so I think I can just tuck it back there. The other thing that I think I want to do today is I think I want to take out this yellow Scotch broom plant. I think I said before already, it's a little bit overgrown. I probably needed to have cut it back. It's been here, this might be going on its 3rd year, 2 or 3 years, and it served its purpose. I had 2 other ones on this side. The one here died completely, we took it out. The one here is half dead. I think I'm going to take them all out. Served their purpose, but I didn't love them. And what I think I want to do is I want to put this lilac in its place. The reason being is here's the rose arch with the Eden climber and the Colette climber on it, which are looking great right now. And then on the left-hand side is this other lilac bush or tree, this other lilac tree that I bought, I think it's going on 2 years now. And it's beautiful. I love the fragrance. I'm getting more and more into trying to incorporate more fragrances into the garden, more scents. And I realized for some symmetry, I have this other lilac bush that I was initially going to take to Brooklyn with me, but that Brooklyn project has been going on for so long that more and more plants that I've been saving to go to Brooklyn, I'm just putting in the garden here. And I thought, This looks so great right here. It's blooming before the roses start blooming, that for some symmetry, I can put this lilac here. It'll continue the beautiful scent, the nice purple color. It'll give a little bit more of a kind of privacy screen here so that when you're coming around the path, you won't see straight into the backyard, but as we walk through, you'll have the lilac bushes blooming depending on your time of year, or the rose bushes blooming depending on your time of the year as you enter into the backyard. So I think we're gonna do that as well, and still definitely do the cosmos and the stock today. So those are going to be our first set of projects. Let's get to it. Trying not to crush anything. Start out here. Oh my God, it's heavy. Okay, that wasn't too bad. I tried to get as much of the root ball as I could, and I think I got a pretty big chunk. This has grown a lot since I put it out here. It was in the back with the other. All three of the fall cypress were in the back garden bed. We're really struggling, always getting overshadowed. I don't remember why I picked this one. I can't remember if it was the best looking of the three or if it was struggling the most. Probably wasn't the one that was struggling the most. And I put it out here last year. I think it was just last year. And it's grown a lot. Maybe it's 2 years. Maybe, I think this is the second year. Yeah. And it's grown a lot. Really, was really rooted in, really grew a lot. So it was happy there. Hopefully it'll be just as happy in the new spot. I'm looking, some stuff scratched me, getting some bumps here. Well, it's probably this guy. All right, let's go dig a hole to get this guy in the ground. Now, I know you guys can see it is weed central back here. I don't even know how I'm gonna deal with it. Honestly, I have no idea. I'm just gonna leave that alone and let it rock. Now the ferns you'll see, they spread by rhizome. That's partly why if I wanted to completely get rid of it, it actually would be difficult because you can't just cut them off or pull it out. There's a cord here. They spread by rhizomes underneath the ground. So you have to take out the whole thing to have any chance of getting them out, if that was your goal. I'm not trying to completely get rid of the ferns, but I'm not really trying to save them either. We have so many of them around. I'm not worried about them. So I am just going to be taking these guys out and not trying to save any of them. Ooh. You guys saw me jump up a minute ago because there was a big old bee here. I don't really know all the bee species, so it might have been a carpenter bee, I think. I don't know if it came from the ground or if she flew in. I know there's a lot of bees. I learned that there's a lot of bees that actually make their home in the ground, but there was suddenly a very loud and what sounded to me like angry buzzing right by me. So I jumped up to see, and it buzzed around for a little bit, but it seemed to have moved on. So I don't think it had its home down here and I disturbed it. That's what I was wondering. So we're going to keep going. Hopefully not disturb or encounter many more bees. Okay, so I do think I like it here. I think it does add a nice, because it's a chartreuse green, I think it adds a little bit of brightness to this area. I think it'll be okay here. It's definitely going to get more shade than it did in the front, but I think it'll be okay. You can see that it's interfering with the goldenrod a little bit. So I could always cut this back. I do need to cut some of these kind of wispy top pieces off, but I don't think I want to prune it today since I'm moving it today. The goldenrod I just put in, I think just last fall, so they shouldn't be rooted in too much. So I think I should be able to move the goldenrod just a little bit, and I can always keep this pruned back in the future so that it doesn't interfere with the goldenrod too much. I want to protect the goldenrod in particular because the goldenrod is the native species and it's what the wildlife and the pollinators really need for a lot of their different life cycles. And the goldenrod will give me some nice fall color in this area. So what I might do, I have it in this kind of triangle. I might just bump this one a little bit closer up to the bench. This one might be okay where it is. And I might just bump this one to the side a little bit. Since I'm back here right now, and I think I'm going to move the goldenrod, I think I might just go ahead and take out the Scotch broom now and put the lilac in, and then kind of just be done with this section after I put the lilac in, and then move the goldenrod, and then get this actually tucked in. We'll probably do that all at the end. There's that bee again. I think it is. Well, oh, there's two of them. I was gonna say, it's a little irritated with what I'm doing, but I think it's maybe not irritated. Might just be more curious. Hopefully. I promise you, this will be better for everybody. Don't break the sprinkler. Okay, I think I'm happy with everybody's position. So now we're gonna actually get everybody settled into the ground. I'm gonna be putting in biotone starter fertilizer as well as the Espoma land and sea compost to help improve the soil. This has been in its pot way too long. Yeah. Time for you to get planted, buddy. Guys, I'm a little crazy. I'm about to put the lilac in the ground. I mean, you saw me take out the Scotch broom. I dug the hole deeper. I amended the hole, started putting the lilac in, and then I realized, wait a minute, that's not where I wanted to put the lilac. I wanted to put the lilac basically where I'm standing, right next to the rose arch, pretty much like the other lilac is. That was the whole point of this. Okay, so I started refilling that first hole. Time to dig another one. Nuts. So I'm happy with how everything looks so far. The lilac got put where I actually wanted it to. I think I do like the false cypress here. And we have these 3 goldenrod now sort of in a swoop in front of it. But I have this other goldenrod here that I swear there's no way I planted that goldenrod there. It's right in front of the bench. I could not have planted it there. It's so big though for something that planted itself just last year, but I'm just saying I wouldn't have done that. So I'm going to take this up from here so that it's not blocking the bench anymore. And I'm just going to add it to the swoop over here. It'll be an even number, and I know usually in both regular design and garden design, we usually prefer odd numbers for this, but 4 is what I have, so 4 is what's going to go in. I have 3 more goldenrod already on this side bunched up amongst the weeds and the ferns. So I'm going to take this guy up, add it to the soup that I have going on there. Guys, I am really happy with how this looks. I'm just trying to get everything watered in right now because it is 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I didn't realize how late it was. So this is not the best time to be moving plants around because it's hot. And you can see the goldenrod that I moved. They're definitely suffering a little bit, but I think they'll perk back up. But I'll give you guys a better look when I finish watering everybody in. But I'm really happy with this. Okay, so it definitely looks a little bit more messy because that hose has unfortunately sprung a leak. And so it makes more of a mess than is needed when watering now. But I am liking how this looks a lot. I think this chartreuse green here as a pop of color was a really good idea. And I like the goldenrod. Maybe it looks a little bit more like a line than a true swoop. Now that I'm looking at it, maybe I need to move that last one slightly so it doesn't look so much in formation. But I won't do that today. I might just move it forward a little bit. But we'll see. I like how it is right now. And the lilac, sorry, I know the lighting is weird. But the lilac, I think, is going to look awesome here. So the other one is in full bloom right now. And I don't expect this one to do much this year. But in another year or two, I imagine it being almost as tall as the other one, coming up here, giving a nice little screen, and then having very similar, beautifully purple, wonderfully smelling buds. I mean, look at that. So awesome. It actually smells really nice back here. And this side of the garden path, I might try and focus more on it this year. This side, I guess maybe we started focusing on this side more. So it always looks really nice once things start coming up. This side, not as much. But I think, I put these plants in and I was like, wow, having something here made it, and I think it looks nicer. I'm thinking I need to pay more attention to this area so that it can look just as nice as the other side and really catch up. It will look better. It'll look nicer if I just start paying more attention to it. So I think I might put that on the list of things to do this year. Okay, so that's it for this part of the project. And I think now we'll go and plant the cosmos, which was the original plan. Hey guys, we are back in the front yard. No cosmos have gone in yet. I took a little bit of a break and more shenanigans ensued. I took a phone call and then during that phone call, I decided I'm just gonna uproot another plant and move it once again in the middle of the day. Because why not? Let me show you. So this mostly prostrate juniper was in the back garden bed. I planted it there maybe 2 years ago. I realized I needed to move it because where it was, I really like it, but where it was, it just wasn't doing anything. It wasn't adding anything. And once again, as everything in the back grew out in the summer, it got overshaded. And so I actually just cut off a couple of branches that died because they were in too much shade. And earlier on, I did think about moving it here. And I said, no, I'm not going to move the juniper here. I mean, I just took out the false cypress. Why am I going to move another evergreen here? But like I said, I took that phone call and I was standing there at the juniper and I was looking at it and I said, yes, we are going to go for it. We are going to move it in the front. This is potentially not a great idea, but here we are. And I think I'm just going to go for it. The reason is, right now, everything in this area looks really great. It's spring, things are coming up, and it feels like when I have this space, I'll show you guys actually. If I take it out, I was looking at the empty space without the juniper, and I says, I don't know if I really need anything here. it looks great. I can put one of the white pots there, it'll be fine, etc., etc. But what I'm trying to remember is in the winter months when the juniper will still be beautifully evergreen and it has a more bluish kind of color, it will be a little bit of the star here. We'll still have the boxwood hedge along the back. We're gonna cross our fingers that the heath survive and serve as a semi-evergreen and also kind of pink purplish hedge. But there's not going to be too much going on here in the middle. So my thought is, when there's nothing else here around it, I'm going to be really happy that I have this evergreen here in the center. I could be wrong. I could change my mind and maybe end up having to move it again next year. This thing is supposed to actually get pretty big. I don't have the tag anymore, so I don't remember the specs, but it's one of those things where in its ideal situation, I think it would actually spread pretty far. I'm probably going to have to keep it cut back a little bit. But at least for now, I think I'm willing to do that. So I'm going to put this in, and then finally, hopefully, we will plant the cosmos. Okay, guys, it's in. I only managed to trample 2 sets of daffodils along the way. That's why it's better to do these things earlier on in the season. But, you know, gotta plant when you can plant. And gardening is organic, isn't it? So this is just a process the entire time. I think it looks pretty good. It's a completely different texture than anything else that's in this bed. Sorry, I know I'm overshadowing, or my shadow. It is later in the day than I thought. As usual, everything always takes longer than you think it's going to. And I just didn't, and I ended up doing more than I thought I was going to. So, but I like it here. It feels a little bit like a lot right now because everything's in bloom, but you have to remember all of these daffodils are going to be going away in probably just another week or two, so they won't be there. And then this bed will have more annuals is what I'm planning on. There's not too much other perennials that will be coming up for the summertime. So speaking of the annuals, let's finally go ahead and get the cosmos. So here are 3 trays of cosmos, and they did not too bad. Now you can see there's some that they're kind of leggy. This one dried out. Some of them are bent over. Some of them look a little bit dry right now because they desperately need to get out of these small starter cells. But some of them are starting to produce their flowers. So really exciting. I think I decided this year I'm going to put all the cosmos in the front bed. I think that's going to be the plan here. So I think the plan is I'm just going to group these, a couple of them together, try and intersperse the different colors. And I kind of just want them all over. I kind of want it to look a little bit like wildflowers. And my thought is as the daffodils start to die down, the cosmos will sort of take their place in that sense. Now, don't judge me too harshly for how bent over and crazy some of these look. I swear to you, last year when I kind of just threw them out here, they also looked bent over and crazy, but you know what? They ended up still flowering, so I think it'll be okay.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm just going to leave them all in here. I'm hoping now that they have some more room, they'll be able to grow out and not interfere with each other, but maybe be able to support each other and not flop over too much.
This rabbit? We scared each other because I guess he came from over here. He froze right here. I heard something. I mean, he was right there. You guys could kind of see how close he was. And rabbits are crazy because He definitely took a bite of grass before he hopped off. He was staring me down. I guess wanted to see if I could see him, and he decided he should move on. But definitely decided to eat some grass before he headed out. Too funny. Rabbit. Okay guys, I'm actually going to have to stop here. I haven't gotten all the cosmos planted, but it's getting late. It's about 5 o'clock, and if I don't stop now and get cleaned up, I'm going to miss dinner. So I got as many planted today as I could, and I actually placed the white pots in the area loosely where I think I want it to be. So let me show you what we did. So you can see I put the white pots in a sort of loose triangle. I'm thinking this bigger one here in the back, I actually am going to elevate it. I'm going to get some planter feet and raise it up a little bit. And then I have one here in the front and then one a little bit towards the back. As I was planting, I realized I should probably put these in because it was this one that made me realize I was in this area and I kept saying, it looks like there's a blank spot there. It feels like something needs to be there. Let me go put another cosmos in there. And that's when I realized, hey, maybe you should put the pots in because you're gonna run out of room. So they're in, not perfectly placed, but we'll adjust as needed later. So we put in a good number of the cosmos. I still need to get everything watered in. But you can see I started trying to wrap them around the bed, sort of tuck them in places in sort of loose groupings. So there's still more. I finished one tray, but there's still this whole tray with the mixes, and there's still more in these two as well. But like I said, I need to call it a day and we'll pick this up later. I cannot believe we ended up doing so many other things today when the initial goal really was to just plant the cosmos. That was supposed to be project number one. So crazy. Okay, so that's it for today, guys. Thanks for coming along with me as we tackled different projects in the garden today. Things kind of went a slightly different direction than I initially planned, but that's chaotic gardening at its best. And I am realizing more and more that I am definitely a chaotic gardener. But we're just going with the flow and getting things done, and everything turns out beautiful in the end. So I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. And as always, I hope you get a chance to get outside and enjoy your garden. Until next time, guys, bye.